This is a day that my Father has made. I will rejoice. Jah, I thank you for this morning. Oh, it's a brand new day. Little bird, they're thanking and they sing. So let's all get down and pray.
Good night, teaching and friends. Welcome to another episode. The ears truly teach, and my ever esteemed co-host, Prof. Wagwan.
Good, Good night, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. Before we start, I'm a little under the weather, so bear with me. All right. You go. When people say you catch a draft, but I that one. So I kind of have like a head cold. So
So
work with me.
as you mentioned, weather. Just remind the viewers that I am in Jamaica, holding up the ends, and Prof is in Big Apple, New York, New York. So what's the weather like there at this time of the year?
This time of the year, the morning kind of chilly. Then as the sun come out, gets warmer. And you can probably get up to 80 degree, 70 odd. And then in the evening, night, the temperature drop again. Sometimes below 60, 50 degree, depends on where you are. High elevation, you could reach in the 40s.
That sounds freezing to Jamaicans, Anything below 70 is freezing here.
Well, no, it is can be cold, because last night was about in the 50s, and window them lock up the house and crack a window and still cool and under blanket and get a draft, So, the good thing is you can conserve more AC, that's a plus. So it's not too bad. And there's lower humidity. So even when you get to 80, it feels really, really good. But there's no humidity at all. So it's always a plus. Just that it's confusing when you get on in the morning what to wear, because
they don't know what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah. So you probably wear layers. If you wear a light jacket, but at some point during the day, you're going to lose it. Probably by the time you're ready to leave, come home, you don't need a jacket still. So I'm here for working extra thing in the morning.
Especially when you just know how to use it. Yeah.
Sometimes I just suffer with the cold. I'm on it. Come still wear short sleeve and thing there.
I've been there, so I understand.
Nice.
But
well, a fall weather, crisp, get the morning with crisp and
Okay. So there's something I get to understand that there's something that you just want to make aware, to bring to the viewers awareness.
Yeah, man, I wanna
Being a historian, let me just give a background about Prof. Is a more history man, this is his real forte, So a little story about Puma, Adidas.
Yeah, I used
that
to be
you want to share with us.
So I want to discuss the history behind Puma versus Adidas. A lot of people might not know the story, but everyone wear the brand. As you can see, I'm wearing a jersey made by Adidas. And we we are aware of the different brands. You have Nike at the very top. Top earner. And they have Adidas, and they have Puma, and then everyone else follows. But there's a
Kappa and others.
Yeah, but there's a interesting story behind the number 2 and the number 3 sports brand in the world, which I wanted to share.
I'm a great hear it now.
To our viewers. So Puma and Adidas, right? They're owned by brothers. So they're both German company. sports apparel companies, right? And they're both owned by brothers, right? And they're called the Dassler brothers, right? You had um, come again. Um, Sorry, folks. My apologies. I gather my thoughts. So you had Adolf Dassler, I had Rudolf Dassler, right?
For the
And
viewers, and just spell Dassler.
D
For the,
or Dassler. Adolf Dassler and Rudolf. Rudolf is like Rudolph Red-Deer.
Adolf was in Hitler.
Adolf doesn't Hitler.
I mean, that's a follow yourself. The red-nosed reindeer and that mentioned. I don't know.
I did not want to have that comparison with.
The two most famous Adolf and Rudolph. So,
Oh, I really, really, really did not.
want to make that yeah. But it is what it is.
No, so these brothers started. They both started their own shoe company. It was called Gebruder Dassler, or Gator for short, meaning um, what's again? Gebruder meaning brother Dassler. Gebruder is
Brother.
brother for German in
Yeah, yeah.
German, and the last name is Dassler. And so for the shortening, they call it Gator. And they started out of their parents' house.
Like most successful businesses.
Yeah. And so they started a business out of the family home, and then let me see.
But can you tell what sports brand, what sports wear they would have started with?
No, I mean,
What sports? Football, tracks. What was their target market at the time?
it doesn't say. It just says shoe.
Just a shoe.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it just says shoe. So initially, the Silbin incorporated on two-stripe shoes, and in 1919, the team established Gebruder Dassler, Gator for short. The 1936 Olympics came around and both became a huge breakthrough for the Dassler brothers as a German athlete wore their clothing line. So I guess they made shoes and clothes, resulting in a huge boost in sale. Things were going great between the Dassler brothers. Then World War II started, and there are several stories as to why they broke up. And they broke up after
The war.
yeah, because one of the brother was actually drafted in the German army. Um, so they're saying pressure between the siblings developed and the tension was clear.
Cause one believed in the war and one didn't. One was a coward and one was not. It could be the sibling
Oh, well,
difference.
some are saying that the wives didn't like each other, both wives didn't like each other, or some are saying it looked like one of the brother had an affair with one of the wife. I read somewhere where it was said that one of the brother gave up or informed or told the U.S. Army occupying force that his brother fought for the Germans. And so he was in a concentration camp. So there's a lot of story behind why they split, but
It sounds bitter though.
well, it lasted until they died, and the split actually affected entire family. So one set of families sided with one set of brother, other set of family sided with the other set of brother. So there was a split with the family, and brothers never reconciled before they died.
Mm. But out of bad came good.
So what happened is that the brothers decided to part ways and split the company in half, right? Um, so one of the stories that during the Allied bombing during the war, Rudolph and his significant other were sitting in a bomb shelter at the point when Adolf and his wife showed up. He made a distasteful statement about the town getting bombarded once more. Rudolph evidently mixed up his brother's remarks as an individual assault against him and his character. Rudolph was drafted for the war and served his time on the front line of the battle. On the other hand, the German government had deemed Adolf useless as a shoemaker, as more necessary, and so he was not sent to fight for Germany. Rudolph was very angry about this and saw it as his brother making money and selling shoes while he was on the front line with his life on the line. After the war ended in 1945, the Allies wanted to take revenge on the remaining Nazi soldiers. This meant that Rudolph had to plead his case to the authorities. His brother Adolf snitched on him that he was working with the Nazis, and this caused Rudolph to be imprisoned for another year.
Mm.
And Adolf was making profit. No, it's kind of weird. Adolf was the one Adolf was the one not on the front line. So all right. So Rudolph founded Puma. Adolf had Adidas, right? So what if I try to remember that? Rudolph, Dassler, Puma, Adolf, Dassler, Adidas, AA, Adi,
Adolf.
Adi Dassler. That's
Mm-hmm.
Adolf, right? If you can remember that.
If you put Adolf Adidas, and then we know that Puma is Rudolph.
Puma,
Mm-hmm.
right? And actually, Puma was founded before Adidas. Despite the fact that Adi was the one who stayed home, made money with the shoe company, Rudolph actually started Puma for.
So he came back with a vengeance, wanted the split, got the split, started one company. I can't understand here.
Yeah. So, where was I? Okay. Rudolph tried to snitch on his brother as well, but Adolf charges were dropped. So they tried to snitch on each other. This essentially ended the relationship between the Dassler brothers. 1948, the Dassler brother partnership was over. The tension caused by the war and the betrayal were too much for the brothers to handle. The negotiation that started for the company, they started the vision process. earnings, employees, equipment were all split between the two brothers. Both went their separate ways and never spoke to each other again. In 1957, Puma was born.
So we're talking about 48 to 57.
Mm-hmm. Almost 10 years.
Them not doing any production. Them just dead split until Rudolph decides, you know, I'm going to go back in the production thing, manufacturing thing. Okay.
Later, Adolf started his own shoe company, naming it after himself. He took the letters from his nickname Adi and the first three letters of his last name Dassler to create Adidas. Now, Adidas was created a year after Puma. Both brothers continued to stay at each other, throughout in the way of business disagreement, which were all rooted in the coincidences and misunderstanding from years prior. So both companies were actually headquartered in the same town, right? And that town was called boy my I might have to spell it out. Herzog, Herzogenaurach.
Jerusalem. that old people say Jamaica, they really can't pronounce it. So move on.
Let's see if Google can give us a pronunciation.
Okay.
Let's see, because all right. You hear that? Erzengonoa. Erzengonoa.
Erzengonoa. All right.
Erzengonoa. That was the name of the town. And up to this day, both companies still have the headquarters in the town. Now, because of this rivalry, it split the town. Split the town. One side Adidas, one side Puma. Now, if let's say, for instance, you and I live in a town, we have our family. I work for Puma. Now, I work for Adidas since I'm in Adidas. I work for Adidas.
You work for Puma. All right.
Work for Puma. My entire family
has to
would wear everything Puma.
Anything other than that is a bit
sorry, no. My entire family would wear Adidas.
Adidas.
My family would wear Puma.
Mm-hmm.
I even had the one bar that I go to. That a bar for just people who work for Puma go to, and a bar just people who work for Adidas. Even restaurant included, even shops included. So shopkeepers took sides.
This sound worse than Man U and Man City.
Yes, way worse. So and if your family work for Puma, you could not wear anything Adidas. And when people saw you on the street, first place to look was on your feet.
That's the identity. That's the identification.
Judging by what you were wearing, that's how they knew which way you belong or which company you support.
Green and orange, Jamaica.
And I'm talking about up to today, day, you know. So I'm talking from then. This is
so,
like 70 years ago, right?
and no,
And it's still like this now. I mean, it's not as
yeah, yeah.
as it was, because even the mayor right now, he'll wear 1 foot Adidas, yes, 1 foot Puma
For balance. And
for balance. For balance.
no, that is kind of extreme. We better wear one today and one tomorrow. Alternate, but not
Uh,
separate shoes at the same time.
so so I think I I think there's a river that separated both headquarters. That run right through the town and kind of separate them.
Also, them choose location that clearly can define which side. Okay.
I guess. And so what happened is that shit, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, now reason why Adidas is more popular than Puma started with the 1952 World Cup. So after the World War and the war ended, World War II ended, Germany was occupied by Allied forces, and you then now had East Germany and West Germany. You had East Germany occupied by the Russian, West Germany occupied by the Allied forces.
I
Right?
stick up in. Back in the East Germany, West Germany side, which side of Germany the brothers were from? East or West?
West.
West. Okay.
Yeah, West. Um, so I believe it is the 1950.
It can't be 52 when they started 56.
Huh?
It, the work that
40.
work that made a difference in which company the more dominant company would have come
After the First World War was the
after the First
1950 World
War. Yeah, but the World Cup would come after the establishment was birthed, and they were birthed like 56 and 57.
No, 48. Companies were formed 48.
40, not the split, and the ending of the company was 48.
No.
And then the company do 10 years after, or 9 years after them start the new company. That's my recollection. 48 the split, take money, take half our money, and then 57 Puma was established. Nine years after.
Let's see.
So the World Cup would have come shortly after that, and not before.
Was 50 something World Cup.
52, 56, 60. No. You have 70 World Cup, 66 World
All
Cup,
right. So, okay, here it is.
60, yeah.
1954 World Cup.
All right. Well, you need to check back the establishment, the data and the two companies
No,
start.
man. I told you 1948. Puma was established, and 1949 was
So when them split then?
then split.
Remember we talked about this 9 years after, no?
So they split 1948.
Right. But when, as I said, Puma was established 9 years after, almost 10.
Must have been a confusion
But
there.
that guy got 57.
Hold on.
So if I get them dates correct.
Nah, man. Everything I'm reading says all right. So one of the article that I read said 1948, right?
Puma.
1948, the partnership was over,
Right.
and Adidas was born 1957.
Right.
On Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
it is saying that they split 1948, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1948, Rudolph established Puma,
Almost
which was,
immediately.
which was initially named Ruda, short for Rudolph Dassler, but later was renamed Puma after the animal. In 1949, Adolf established Adidas.
Oh, so that's so more accurate than the 56, 57, 57. If at the 54 World Cup gave Adidas the advantage. Yeah. So 40 World
That's what I
Cup.
said. I read several different articles and all at different
Yeah,
stories.
but yeah,
So
but
you may have confused the dates
yeah.
and
This date more son, yeah. So the split is 48. Rudolph established Puma under one different name. In a
Rudolph
48,
and a named Rudolph.
49 Adidas was formed. Okay.
And
So the World Cup come in place, I know. All the World Cup gave Adidas an advantage. What took place?
okay, so what happened is that well, in the 1954 World Cup,
Which country was it? You can't you know that. You know which country it is?
54 World Cup would have been 54 World Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Swiss.
But this was actually the second World Cup after the war. As I know, 1950 was the first World Cup
Was
after
the
the
first one. Yeah, Uruguay, yeah.
war. And that was played in Sweden. Brazil played and won that World Cup.
So 54 was Brazil's first World Cup. Win.
No, 1950 was Brazil's first World Cup.
Win.
Win.
Okay.
Yes, win. So after the Second World War, Germany was banned from international football, and German products such as electric shoes were unpopular in foreign countries. West Germany was allowed to participate in the 1954 World Cup, the first to be televised. Adidas and Puma worked to change people's perception of their sporting brands and achieve international exposure. Since the rift between West Germany national team manager Sepp Herberger and Rudolph prevented Puma from sponsoring the West German national team, Adidas ended up sponsoring West German national team and supplied uniform and boots to the West German players. West German team defeated the favorites Hungary and won its first World Cup. As a result, Adidas received positive international coverage. Adidas was able to get a hold in the international shoe market and grow faster and become bigger than Puma. So that's what kickstarted Adidas.
That kickstart, rocket, not kick, no, not kickstart. Yeah, kickstart because of football, I thought, but this is more like rocket start
So
because World Cup was a big thing and it was televised, and the brand must have been, and them get a winner too. So
it
them get
was
a team that would be big by itself, just having a national team jersey. It televised that even good, but them went on to even win.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that put Puma right there. Sorry, Adidas. People's mind and sponsor a successful World Cup winning team.
And another thing to note, because the previous German brands were tainted because of the war, Adidas would have made special effort in this World Cup to showcase the brand because they want to change perception. Unlike everybody else and other brand, it probably wasn't that concentrated and showcasing, but they had a drive to change
Well,
other
I
people's
don't
mind.
I don't know because I don't know what other brands were.
Brands must be out
Or
there.
yeah, but I don't know what they are, how they showcase.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about
But but for the mere fact that the World Cup winner was wearing Adidas, I think was the major factor in Adidas sticking in people's mind. And it's funny, because if Rudolph, if the West German coach didn't have a problem with Rudolph, could have been Puma, the sponsor of the team. If for the mere fact that the West German national coach did not like Rudolph Dassler,
that dislike was spelled out. What are the reasons for the dislike?
there's no reason. There's a rift between Sepp Herberger and Rudolph, preventing Puma from sponsoring the German national. Now, the two biggest team in Germany right now is Bayern Munich
Mm-hmm.
and Borussia Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have Adidas, for ever since I know, from the freaking 70s. I'm a Bayern Munich fan. There's always been Adidas sponsoring Bayern Munich. And that, which is kind of weird because you have the big bad Bayern Munich, the creme de la creme, being sponsored by the creme de la creme. This is before Nike. Remember? So Adidas was a shit in the 60s and 70s. Right? So you had two huge German brands. Bayern Munich, Adidas, running the show. Right? Then you had Borussia Dortmund, the People's Club. Because Bayern Munich is known as FC Hollywood in Germany. Right?
The
Borussia
superstar,
Dortmund,
the superstar club.
superstar. Borussia Dortmund from a mining city.
Industry,
Working class people.
grassroots club. Mm-hmm.
Being sponsored by
Puma.
the little brother Puma. And that's how it has always been.
So David and Goliath thing.
David and Goliath type of thing. David and Goliath thing. Even nowadays in sports, Adidas is a much bigger company than Puma. Adidas have sponsorship with a ton of teams and athletes I mean, Puma does, but Adidas have the bulk.
Yeah,
Puma tend to sponsor a lot of African third world countries, right?
I think Puma go for small people. Still see themselves marketing the grassroots, the small people, them
Yeah.
small countries.
Yes.
Still,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Adidas keep themselves elite.
Elite.
Even outside of Germany, they keep themselves elite.
Yes.
And I noticed that them not as big in track and field anymore like one time. Them kind of back out and allow Nike and Puma to dominate.
You know more about track and field than I do. So
Yeah, but I mean back in the days I could say like Merlin Atty was Adidas. There were athletes in it. Big name athletes Adidas. There's no Adidas in big days. Nike or Puma. I'm mostly Nike, but it's Nike and Puma. Adidas back out. So
what about American sprinter who just won that's Adidas, who just won the
200.
100-meter in the World Championship? No, not World Championship. The Diamond League. Adidas sponsored.
But
I know Nike does Fred Gurney.
Yeah, but the bigger names, although that guy is coming back, what name? I know the guy you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I talk upon, when you look at the big names, Nike first, and Puma second in track and field. But when you're talking about international, I'm not talking about any one country. Football, it's mostly. I won't even put a guess on the percentage split. But if I should guesstimate it, I would say it's like 70-30 Adidas over Puma.
Okay.
You know.
So I want to discuss what kickstarted Puma. Because at some point,
they make
seeing real growth.
Yeah.
Right? So, for you and there, we know what that signifies. So let me tell the people what happened. So, in the 1970 World Cup, Puma won the business battle. The most famous athlete in the world at the time was Brazilian football player Pelé.
And Brazil won that World Cup.
Brazil won the World Cup. So, pursuant to a sponsorship deal, Pelé asked referee to stop the game before the opening whistle, so that he could tie his shoe. And thus, all the cameras were focused on his Pumas. And I remember that. I remembered seeing that. Not knowing the significance behind it. That it was a sponsorship or advertisement ploy by Pelé and Puma.
It was as crafty as Johan Blake with the watch. In one of the Olympics, when they had this big yellow watch. And
you running it?
Yeah, it was one of the big is that Seiko. It started M. Omega.
Omega.
Yeah, Omega. So it went to Animark and it is illegal. It was illegal. They fined him, but Omega paid the fine because it was a plan.
Oh.
And zoom in and know what when him go on the mark, it literally comes up. Because guess what was the problem? One of the sponsor for the World Cup, Timekeeper was
Omega the
not that year. No, not that year. So they did that to rival the official sponsor at the Olympics.
That's
that's what I'm trying him because him, So, but I can't imagine Pelé stopping and making all eyes focus on why the referee got all up. And the camera showing the reason why the game don't start and see this shoes.
Yeah, so for the entire World Cup, Pele wore Puma. Brazil won the 97 World Cup with arguably the
Best
best
team.
team ever. Right? And with Pele and the star power greatly contributed to the improvement of Puma's image in the eyes of the public and led to an increase in sales.
And it wasn't the outfit was that team or was a Pele outfit.
It was a Pele. Pele, they sponsored Pele. I remember that shoe. It had the yellow stripe, the yellow swoosh or whatever they call it, the Puma. Black against yellow. It stood out. Stood out. And
So it was well planned. That was well planned, Can't miss the shoes.
it was well planned. Can't miss a shoe. Can't miss it. Pele, because Pele had, before this, Pele had played in 3 World Cups. 1, 2. This was the king of football. So when he bent down, all eyes was on him. All the camera panned to him. He wasn't an ordinary player. He was a man. And that kick-started Puma.
So what you're saying from 54 when Adidas got rocketed into the spotlight in sporting world, it took Puma until 1970 to make their mark on the international stage.
Yep.
That have been frustrating for Rudolph.
It would have been. And and so even within that town where they were both headquartered, they had their own team as well. One team was sponsored by Puma, other one sponsored by Adidas. I mean, neither team exists today, but they made a huge impact. So they're saying to today's date, there are still Puma and Adidas families. It is said that the Dasa family quarrels were so divisive that the Puma and Adidas families went to separate bakeries, had their own separate butcher, as well as their own separate pubs. The idea of Adidas employees going into a shop that Puma employees frequented had never crossed anyone's mind before. And this is coming from Michael Dasa, the grandson of the Puma founder. And his child was marked by the Dasa dispute. The contact between his grandfather Rudolph and his brother was non-existent. In our house, the name Adidas was never mentioned, he said.
White Son to Adidas was more the villain in the other family.
I don't know. But hear this. Outside the Dasa family, right? Other families either identified with Adidas or Puma. Neither, both. Married couples, both of whom work for different brands, were virtually non-existent.
Divorce.
They just never got together.
So, and if you were married it, you have to choose the same side, basically. Then.
Yes. Do you not get married to someone if you're from a Puma? Say you not get married to someone from the Adidas side. Even manhole covers in the tongue had either Puma or Adidas. I'm gonna share this with you. They can share it.
It's tribal. Yeah, it sounds so much like politics, man.
I guess it sounds that way, yeah. So saying there's still Puma and Adidas families today, although the friction has eased into a less aggressive rivalry. The companies have become more international. Only a fraction of the workforce have grown up in the town. Whether your parents work at Adidas or Puma, it's clear by what you're wearing.
So there's remnants of the sides being taken and the division, but it's more friendly rivalry now.
Yeah. Listen, the two brands are rarely seen in combination. You can get through a whole playground of kids dressed in one brand from head to toe, not wearing Adidas, but one brand.
But why you'd want to say all of this? Well, you have a feeling that people wearing brands like how you wearing a brand there, Adidas brand, and just don't know what it meant to people back in the past, and to some people to wear a Adidas or a Puma brand.
I mean, people wear stuff not knowing why they're wearing it, right? Or where it's coming from, or the history behind it. When I read this many years ago, I was fascinated by it because we know the brand.
You just like one of them and just run with it, you know.
No, for me, I didn't just like one brand. You know, growing up, I ran tracks. I had Adidas track, right? My football boots was Nike. Track shoes that I wore that was a Puma. For me, whatever brand I got, I wore. I didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
You weren't purchasing, so you never have a choice.
Exactly. You know, shit. I used to force my foot in shoes that couldn't fit me because it's a Nike or Adidas or a Puma. It wasn't so. Oh, me now wear not like my kids nowadays. My son will only wear my oldest. That is no, my youngest. My oldest don't care. My youngest wants to wear just Nike, just Jordan or Air Force Ones. You buy him a Puma or Adidas, he doesn't wear it. My oldest, he doesn't care. You know. So some people don't care. But some people, I know people only wear Adidas or, because that's what they prefer, or they prefer Puma.
I think it transcends from the sporting world when hip hop took on the sweatsuits and this
I know
there was a group. There was a hip hop group.
some crew only wear Adidas, some crew wear Puma.
Yeah, and I think they took up the segregation, and they follow the crowd, the fans follow trend. These are rap group, the one that referencing.
Oh, Run DMC I talk about?
Adidas, right?
Yeah, but they did this on Adidas. My Adidas, and then Adidas picked it up and sponsored them.
Mhm.
You know, and they made Adidas popular as well.
Yep. In the music world, I remember that when it moved from sports to music, they were the one that, yeah.
And then in breakdancing, you either wore Adidas
Puma.
or you wear Puma, and that blew up Puma as well. Suede Puma, or Suede Adidas, the Shell Adidas. Oh shit! I mean, for me, my favorite sneakers, favorite
The tennis Adidas.
Stan Smith, man. Stan Smith, the tennis Adidas. Stan Smith. That is my favorite.
That is a classic, never die Adidas.
All time.
Mm-hmm.
And they have so much different variety nowadays of Stan Smith, Star Wars, Disney. They have recyclable. There's one that made out of completely recyclable material. But
it's similar design.
Yeah, similar design, different colors. But for me,
the black and white
one, no.
Which one?
Full white.
Full white stripes.
Full white with the green at the back.
White stripes, green at the back.
Yeah. Stan Smith.
That is the original.
Dude, let me tell you something. I saw Stan Smith on this girl foot. She ended up becoming my girlfriend in high school.
Are you saying that is Stan Smith drew your attention to her and not a beautiful
Stan
shape?
Smith made this girl had these sexiest legs and walk, and she had bow leg. And her leg looked gorgeous in those Stan Smith. I'm seeing it right now.
I think it's time you stop seeing it, you know.
No, every time I see Stan Smith, that's what I see. Sorry.
Oh, I wonder how she's looking in the Stan Smith these days. I'm just
a 50-year-old in Stan Smith.
No, could look great still. I'm just trying to be nosy and go up in your you know. Yeah, but she could be looking nice with the bow legs and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm the same, man. Stan Smith.
I like the
Huh?
I like the black stripes. Not the white stripe, the black stripes.
That's Stan Smith.
No, I'm not talking about the classic, the black and white.
Oh, the classic. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, who made Samba? Is that Adidas or Puma? Adidas. I like Samba as well. I like Samba.
But there was another comeback in sports, in track and field for Puma, when Jamaica owned Usain Bolt, was sponsored by Puma. Before he became Usain Bolt, he was a prospect. Great. He was a 16-year-old champion in the World Championship. So he had some name. But when Usain Bolt was on his dumb and not doing well in the transition from youth to the senior, Puma came in early and showed some faith. And the rest is history, because in the track and field world, especially with the running equipment, the shoes, they made a comeback compete, not with Adidas this time, but with Nike. And Nike was dominating that space. And they really, with the push of Usain Bolt, really, I can't tell you the percentage-wise with the market. But I know that they gained. I don't know if they surpassed, but they gained ground significantly on Nike during the about 10 years of reign.
I don't know. I think Nike is still number one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Adidas reigns supreme when it comes to soccer, football boots. I think.
Well, we have come to the end. This is not the beginning. This is the end of another episode. We appreciate you being with us during the duration of tonight's program. And we welcome you to come back and join us on another episode. But before we leave you for tonight, Prof, remind us.
Before I give you the usual reminders, I hope you enjoyed tonight's topic. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, right? And, engage. And share. Okay? Guys, enjoy your weekend. Until next time.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. And don't forget to comment.
And hit that notification bell.
This has been another episode of Teach and the Prof.